Stefan, that might be one of the wildest 18-hour stretches I imagine in your life. Let's start with obviously a difficult loss.
Yeah.
What was the plan and the thinking heading into just kind of the next day?
Yeah, so obviously right after I lost, I went and checked what number lucky loser I would be, and they told me I was number 2. So, you know, given that 2 guys had already pulled out and 2 guys already gotten in, I felt there was very little chance, you know, of me getting in. And next thing I know, you know, I guess Kevin Anderson, he flew back to the States, and I was number 1. And still, you know, seeing all the guys that were on the schedule that day, I figured, you know, very unlikely that I'll be playing at all, yeah, Monday or Tuesday. And so, you know, woke up late, slept into like 12, went on the jet skis for a little bit, went to the beach for a long time, you know, had a practice set up with Rafa at 6 o'clock, and then obviously the rest was an experience for sure.
Let's start with the jet skis. It seems like it would be just a calm little trip out on the water, and then what happens?
Yeah, so, you know, if you go out from the hotel, there's a little mountain and there's a cove around it, and for whatever reason, the waves were massive around that cove, and I just happened to just, you know, get near the inland a little bit just to kind of check it out, scope it out. You know, I like to, you know, look and find things, and next thing I know it, my jet ski's getting completely turned over by the wave, and I'm forced to completely jump off of it, and my jet ski goes into the rocks, and I'm just stranded there for about, you know, 20 minutes. I went out jet skiing with my strength and conditioning coach, Andy, but he couldn't even get near me because the waves were just hard, and so he went and got help, and by the time they got back, it was like, you know, 20, 30 minutes. So just a crazy experience. I thought for a second, you know, I wasn't sure what was going to happen because I was a little bit worried. You know, the current was strong, the waves were pushing me into the rocks, so I had to like swim away from them. You never know, you know, one big wave into the rocks, you know, you never know what happens. So it was pretty fun.
Yeah, where does your brain go for those 20 or 30 minutes?
Yeah. Luckily, I had a life jacket on, so I was just kind of, once I got out of the, you know, the wave area, I was just floating, and I got a little worried about sharks and, you know, different things come into your mind, and you know, but thankfully, you know, I was just, you know, at peace. I just said, you know, I'll be good. The water was super clear. I was just floating, you know. It was just, and from there on out, I was just, you know, whatever happened the rest of the day was just, you know, it didn't matter.
Right. Did tennis cross your mind?
Last thing I was thinking about was tennis. I was looking forward to a practice with Rafa. Obviously, he just won the Australian Open, so I was looking forward to kind of trying a couple different strategies on him and just having a good time. You know, his energy is just incredible. You know, we were out there. He was telling us about, you know, his boat, his stuff. I told him we talked about jet skis, and just such an incredible human. Just gave me a ton of energy before my match with Grigor. Actually, just, you know, really compassionate, and he knew that I was the first lucky loser, and his whole team was asking, you know, how these last couple of years were, and just super compassionate. I have a lot of respect for him.
So it's 3-all.
Right.
15 love.
Right.
You're leading.
So
technically.
He's serving love 15. Right.
Okay.
Right.
And walk us through that moment.
Right, so we had a long warm-up, about 30, 40 minutes, just, you know, ripping balls. We're hitting down the middle, he's lacing them, and get it back to 3-all, win the first point on his serve, and he loses his dampener. His dampener comes off completely. So everybody, you know, his whole team, my team, we're all looking for his dampener. And at that point, no one's finding it, so he goes back to his bag to change his racket, and I just had this intuition, like, I haven't checked my phone in a while, let me go see what's going on. So I pull it out, I look, I got like, you know, a lot of messages from Ali, from the tour manager. I'm like, my heart kind of dropped for a second. I was like, okay, this is either really good or really bad. I don't know what's going on. So I open it and I call Ali, and Rafa's, you know, and he's just waiting there, and I tell him, look, I got in, I got to go. I'm next on stadium, and he was, you know, he had a huge smile on his face. He knew kind of, you know, what this would be, and so obviously practice was cut short there, and he was not happy that because I claimed the victory. I said, look, I won fair and square. You know, we'll finish next time.
So you probably weren't hydrated for a full match, correct?
Right. No, not at all. Not at all. You know, coming out, being at the beach all day. You know, drinking very little water. Just it didn't help. And then obviously when you practice with Rafa, it's never going to be easy. You know, I'm super nervous, sweating a ton. Just, you know, not thinking that, you know, putting my, you know, match first, you know, not hydrating properly, not eating properly, just kind of whatever happens, happens.
a quite extraordinary effort. Gracious in defeat for Dimitrov, because that's not easy to take, but this man.
So how do you take it in, actually appreciate it,
Right.
enjoy it, and on top of it, think about the fact that Rafael Nadal
Right.
possibly could be there in the next?
It's just super exciting. You know, I'm just trying to stay in the moment and just appreciate it. And yeah, I mean, with how these last couple of years have been for me, just to be able to play Rafa on center here would be an experience I would fully cherish and just kind of really enjoy. So it would be a ton of fun.